Hey guys, it's Oberstadt. It is currently about 11 o'clock in the morning on November 11th, and I'm actually excited because I have the house to myself, other than my brother who's probably passed out sleeping. It's quiet here. I'm not having to fight with anybody to get into my bathroom. Nobody is currently out in the living room destroying something, unless there's a feline that happens to want to do that. And I just finished editing the first holiday look. I just did the eye look for my holiday season that's going to be starting, and I went ahead and edited just the eye look separate. That will go up on Instagram, but the whole look will go up on my channel. So I love how it turned out. It was a lot faster to edit for the eye look than I expected it to be, so I'm like super excited about that. But I wanted to talk to you guys because I see a lot of new like releases and everybody's like all about the new, but you're not using the old. And I did, and I'll get into this when the actual orders finally arrive, if they ever ship, but I did place an order when Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson launched their products. I had blood sugar in my cart, which, as you guys know, I've wanted blood sugar for a while now. I do have blue blood and jawbreaker, but I wanted blood sugar as well. And so I went ahead and got that. I got a mirror and I got 2 lip colors that I had put in my cart before the launch. But then everything that I put in my cart from the Shane Dawson launch was no longer in my cart when I finally got to check out an hour and a half later. Well, actually more like an hour and 45 minutes later. So hours and hours went by, and I went ahead and filmed 2 looks, one palette with the blood sugar palette, or the blue blood palette. And then somebody messaged me on Twitter and was like, hey, the conspiracy palette is up. I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, the little palette is up. It wasn't on the website hours ago. I'm like, okay. So I got on the website. It wouldn't let me log in, but because Shopify knows my email, they like send me a text to verify it's me when I'm placing orders, which is great. So I was able to get the little mini palette and 4 of the lipsticks because I was going to get the whole entire collection. So I ordered that like 4.5, 5 hours, maybe 6 hours after the initial launch. And it's the 11th and nothing has shipped, nothing. And then of course I did the pre-order for the big palette as well. And I also ordered concealer and powder. And I'll explain all of that stuff in another video. I'm going to be recording a video on my experience for the launch and that kind of thing. And how I felt and how anxious I was and some of the video footage that I took with my phone on that. But because all of this new stuff is coming out, there's always something new at Sephora or Ulta or wherever. I wanted to show you guys that you can use what you have to try and recreate things. I know Lauren May Beauty is awesome at finding like colors in her own collection with the singles, and I did just record a depotting video for all of like my single shadows. Anything that was in like a single-use product like this, I depotted, except for 2 items, one of which was broken, and the other one's a ColourPop single shot, super shock shadow. So I didn't depot that. So I started making this month. I went ahead and made a little miniature palette that has several eyeshadows. It's got a couple blushes, highlight, powder, that kind of thing. And what I'm going to be doing is taking the Juvias Place Deuce palette, and I'm going to be working with like this quadrant right here, the purples and the pinks. And I have a pink shade in here, which I think this one's Funky Town. Let me look. No, Acrobat. So I'm going to be working with this color. And I thought maybe, just maybe, I could use this like sage green color. I don't know, it just depends on what happens with the look. This is called Pistachio. This is a super silky shadow. I do not have some of these colors left in stock anymore because I am discontinuing my makeup line because 1, I'm no longer in a physical retail location to sell these products, and 2, I don't want them to go bad. So I will be doing a giveaway in December with like pre-made kits that have like eyeshadows and eyeliners and mascaras and stuff like that. So look for that. I'll probably do a couple of giveaways in December with just products from my makeup line, just for the simple fact that 1, I don't want them to expire. 2, I've had them since the beginning of the year, and I want them to go to get used somewhere. So I'm going to be working with this palette today. I want to show you that just by adding in 1 or 2 single shadows, you can change the way you look at a palette. So hopefully this is helpful. I should be doing probably 2 looks with this palette. Just had a coughing fit, so I had to stop filming for a second. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to be putting, oh, I'm fixing to cough again. I don't know how much chalking I'll do. I'm going to put creme in one crease and custard in the other, so I will be doing 2 looks. I think the coughing fit might be over. I got this new Sigma brush as an add-on last month in my Ipsy Glam bag. I'm going to try that with this custard shade on the other eye. I know Samantha March like raves about these brushes, so. Oh, crap. Okay. You ain't playing with the application and pigment. Holy crap. I want to show you guys that you can use the products in your collection. Instead of having to buy like the new, you can still get awesome looks with what you have just by switching it up one thing. If you caught my video, I think it was Sunday's video. I don't know when I will edit this, but I did a look with the ColourPop Honey palette. Now the other eye looks like it's a little on the weak side. Let me build that one up just a little so it doesn't feel completely left out. I used the Honey palette to do 2 different looks, and that was the look that I used. That was what I was wearing in my Shop My Stash live stream. But I added one color at the end to show you that just by changing your eye look with one shade, it takes it from one look and makes it something completely new. And I want to get you guys into the habit of using what you have and appreciating what you have instead of like having to feel the need to go out and buy. I don't have a budget really for cosmetics. I just don't. So when I see people constantly like pushing this buy mentality, it kind of bothers me a little bit because I personally don't have the ability to go out and always buy the new things. And I feel like a lot of people probably do left out because, look at that, whoops. Oh well, I'll just, we'll go with it. It always, the fear, that constant fear of missing out, the FOMO that people get, I feel it too. I see all these beautiful palettes and I'm like, oh man, I want that so bad. And then everybody hypes it up and then you see a bunch of reviews and then you get into either, okay, well, now see where I live, I don't have a lot of these issues. I don't have like rent that I pay because I live with my father. My rent is paid by me keeping house and taking care of the animals and doing laundry and cleaning and cooking dinner and that kind of stuff. That's how I pay my way here until I can either find a way to make more stable income because I literally earn $20 or less a month on YouTube. So I don't earn a whole lot on YouTube. And I have applied for jobs, but I have not ever gotten I've gotten to the interview stage and then I interview and then you sit and you wait. And I had one job that I interviewed for and then like 2.5 months later, they messaged me on Facebook and said, oh, we went with somebody else. I'm like, okay, I went in person, I turned in my resume and application. I went in person and interviewed. I went in person multiple times to let you know that I was still interested. And then you send me a message on Facebook saying thanks, but no thanks. I find that a bit shitty if you ask me. I don't like that. I think that if you go in person somewhere that you should be reached out to in person, not, I think that they should have contacted me, via like calling me or something like that to say thanks, but no thanks. I'm gonna work on this. Well, I might do mine. Kind of going back and forth. I'm gonna grab that pistachio shade and I'm gonna put that all over my outer lid area. And then I think I'm gonna use puffs on the inner part and then Tarte on my brow bone. And then I'll end up using Tarte on the inner corner as well when I get my base done. Or not, I'm not really doing a base. I'm gonna do like corrector and concealer. So even though I still have the ABH foundation to test out and wear, my skin is so dry right now, I do not honestly feel like messing with it. And it's chilly outside. It's probably about 65 degrees outside right now. And there's a helicopter going overhead. Let me see what temperature it is. This is an older shadow. A lot of the single shadows that I have, I've had for like a decade, so they're not as good as they were like years ago when I first got them in. Oh, it's 79 right now. So there's that. And then when I get into doing the corrector and stuff like that, concealer, I think what I'm going to do is actually mix some of the shades that I have on like a separate palette before I apply it to my face, because I have noticed that the e.l.f. 16-hour camo concealer that everybody raved about that I got from Influenster, I got 2 shades from Influencer. I did a bunch of different wear tests and stuff with it, and I have to be very careful when I use it because it causes me to dry out really bad, and it causes my skin to get tight and feel like it's burning and all that loveliness. The joys of having dry skin. And so I have to be very careful when I use it, and I've noticed the last couple of times I've used it, I haven't set it, and it seems to be helping with some of that issues. I haven't used any powder over it at all recently, and it seems to be helping with some of the dryness aspect of it. And I'm just going to take this and run it through my thing, and we'll use this for puffs and for Tarte as well. That green is really subtle. It's a very light, like sage green anyway, so I knew it wasn't going to be very like punchy. But this palette has a green, but it's more like a mint shade, and I wanted something a little bit more bay leaf colored. And I always press over my eyes, and if you look, there's a crease right here on my eye. See, when I mess with my eyelid, it like bunches up. I've had issues with my eyelids being wrinkly as far as I can remember going back. So it's not like I'm 39 years old and my eyes are just wrinkly and whatnot. Now I noticed that when I wake up in the mornings, this eye is more hooded because it's like swollen just a little bit. I have noticed that as I've aged that has gotten a little bit droopier, but the creasing and stuff on my actual eyelids has been there since I was a kid. All right, going into the Tarte shade. So this is showing you 2 different looks using the exact same colors except for the base color. That transition color that I used on this side is creme, and then this side is custard. And even using the same lid shades and whatnot, it's amazing at how different. I just threw the poor brush on the floor. It's amazing at just how different you can get an eye look to look just by changing one small thing. Just wanted to blend a little bit better. Tell you what, the Sigma brush did an amazing job of putting that shadow on. Whew. And I am filming another video after this. I did a video the other day for an Ulta like holiday, like going over holiday products and stuff, and one of my subscribers is from Canada, and she said that they do not have an Ulta there, and I didn't even think about it because I don't usually look at Sephora for products because I find they are quite pricey. So I didn't even think about the fact that and I have people that like Sylvia's in Portugal, and I've got Anna who's in Norway. Yeah, I think Norway. And I've got a couple people that I know that are like Finland and stuff like that. So I didn't even think about the fact that they don't have Ultas in those countries. They only have Sephora. So I'm going to take the darker of the 3. I'm just going to put a bloop on here, and then I'm going to bloop around it and then try and mix it together to see if I can get a shade for my under eyes that's not quite as bright. And this is medium beige, and I was going to take it back to Target and like exchange it for the light sand. I think light sand would be a little bit better because fair beige and fair warm were a little bit too bright. So right now I have a bloop of all 3 colors on there, and then I'm going to take some of my Physicians Formula Concealer Twin and bloop some yellow in there as well, just to give it a little bit of a yellow hue. And oh, I was like, what'd I do with my little spatula? Now looking at how much I have on the palette, I'm wondering if I made too much. A bloop of each was too much. I guess I could use the mirror under the camera, and I'm looking down too much, so I guess I could just use the palette itself a little. But Pacifica has this great duo that I got from an Ipsy. See, this color's a lot better. I know that the medium beige is like way orange. And what I was doing was putting like a bloop on my skin of each color and putting it directly on my skin instead of like mixing them together. I was finding that I was having an issue with colors and stuff, with it not wanting to blend out properly. And I usually put concealer on my nose because my nose is always shiny and I hate that. It's like a beacon of light and I don't like it. And I always put it here because I have a big crease in my chin. And my lip juts out at the bottom. And it leaves a pretty pronounced shadow on my face. So what I try and do is hide that by making it lighter. And I know some people, they put dark under their lips in order to make their bottom lip appear bigger. I'm trying to reduce the size of my bottom lip. And I do a little here because I'm like pink in this spot. That's the only place on my face I'm pink. I'm yellow everywhere else. And the reason why I pull my face different directions is to see how this is going to stretch and pull. And what needs to still be blended into the skin. And depending on when I pull my face, if I can still see a harsh line, I go and I'll tap it out. It's just something that I find that works for me. And then I'm going to go ahead and blush and bronzer and contour and stuff. So since I already had it in my hand, I'm going to dip into what's in my palette down here, which is the Hoola bronzer mixed with the Pacifica one. And this is a Wet n Wild contour brush. It's like angled. I like it. I actually usually use like a powder brush to do bronzer looking stuff. This is what I usually use. It's also a Wet n Wild. And if you notice, I haven't set my under eyes. I'm gonna leave those alone. And I'm gonna take my Luxie blush brush into the Pacifica shade, and then I've got 2 blushes on my tray as well. I've got the Kitty Pink from Dirty Little Secrets, and then Misbehave from my line. I think that's Misbehave. If I can get it out. Or not. I tell you what, the magnets on my pans are definitely good. You can always tell how cheap a pan is by how magnetic it is. Oh, no, this is Zen. I guess I forget. Yeah, Zen. It's a little bit more mauve than the Pacifica one. I got a color. I got a sploop of color there. I wonder what I stick my brush in. Oh well. Oh, I see what it was. It got into the black shadow. Oh well. And then I come back and tap this out. Yeah, my under eyes are looking seriously dry right now. I don't even think the glow tonic is going to help that. And then for highlight, I've got, I think, GGP sucker stuff. This is the Jeffree Cosmetics You Glow Girl highlighter. I'm going to use this, and I've got a little Elizabeth Mott one in my tray as well. So the Elizabeth Mott is more like a champagne, whereas the other one's more like a rose gold or rose champagne. And this is my subtle highlight brush. I have turquoise on my nose. Don't know how that happened. The camera's flashing at me. You know, I think I'm not going to do like much with my brows today. I think I'm going to throw in some Gimme Brow in shade 4.5. Doesn't make a whole lot of difference, but it makes some. I think I'm going to go with the Flower Beauty Spiced Petal, I think. Yeah, Spiced Petal for lipsticks. Alright, so while I was answering the phone for some Google whatever scam, I went ahead and threw the lip color on. I don't have a whole lot in the way of like liner, so I'm going to throw, well, I don't have a lot for my Shop My Stash. So I'm going to do a white liner in my waterline and then a black liquid over the top and my Essence Lash Princess mascara. I'm going to do those. But before I do that, because I'm looking at how light the pistachio shade is, I think I'm going to go ahead and get this brush wet with just water. And I dip it in. I have a little lid of my Pixie Glow Tonic lid over here. Or glow mist, whatever, and I get that wet, and then I just run the water through the bristles with my fingers and like squeeze out the excess. And I'm gonna just go in with the brush and see if I can darken this up just a little bit, because it's a light shade, I know that, but I just want it to show up a little bit better. And I think using it wet, because it's a satin shade, it might show up a little bit better. I'm also going to use it under my eye. Just blending those lines just ever so slightly. I'm going to pick up that Puffs shade on my finger. Just tap it over that line and then I'll blend it. That's a little bit better. And I'm going to take what's on the brush and take it off on here, and then I'm going to grab that Tarte shade. I'll pop it in my inner corner on both eyes. And then I'm going to grab Puffs and drag that under the front. All right. Now for liner and mascara, and then I think I'll be done. Let me know what you guys think. Again, I'm using, the only difference in color is the, the brow bone color. That's literally it. That's the only color that's different between one eye and the other. I applied them both the same. I did the same on both eyes. Same placement, same colors. The only difference is that one shade. So let me know which one you like better, or if you like one eye over the other, or if you like both of them. And I like both, but like I know this one's a little bit more punchy because this shade here is a little bit more it's darker because it's more of like a fuchsia-y, like purple shade, whereas the other shade is definitely more like a pastel, like a peachy shade. Because my eyelids move and I've got skin tags on this eye, I usually leave my eyes open and just look down to get liner on. Except for when I'm doing the outside edge. I have to color around my skin tag. If not, it looks weird. And I'm not like the best at winged liner, but doing liquid liner above my lash line I'm pretty okay at. So if you guys want like a really close-up look of how I do that, I can. It's not too difficult for me to do. And I know I actually had a girl in Walmart, I want to say beginning of the year, maybe it was December last year. We stopped and talked for a while, and she was saying how she had a really hard time doing liquid liner, even just like I just did with just above the lash line. She's a really hard time doing liner because she can't get her line to look good, or it's not close enough to her lash line and she can't figure out what she's doing wrong. So I told her I'd be more than happy to do like a tutorial and stuff on it. And I gave her my information, and she never reached out though. So I don't know if it was just she forgot or she wasn't interested, or it could be anything. But if there's ever anything you guys want to see specifically, please let me know, and I will do my best to show you guys like up close. And right now I can't see what's in my viewfinder because it's broken. So I just kind of know how far the camera has to be away from me in order for you guys to see, me. I know the camera has to be at least 2 feet away for you guys to see from at least my neck up. And when I do close-ups and stuff, I don't know how I look in the close-up, so I kind of like do what I can to try and get a full shot of the makeup look closer up. But I know I had somebody say something the other day that she couldn't see, and I'm like, well, I kind of wish I could do something different, but I can't. So when I go to like zoom you guys in to show you the eye look up close, I don't know what you guys are seeing until I go to edit. And I still have to, that's another thing I need to do today. I need to call Amazon, and then I gotta call Canon back and find out about trying to get my camera repaired. So I'm gonna go ahead and zoom you guys in, and hopefully you guys can see the look up close. Again, I won't know what the zoom in looks like until I get into editing, but hopefully you guys will be able to see the look and you like it, and let me know what you think down below. So this will do it for using my Juvias Place The Deuce palette. I did use 4 shades out of here. I used this quadrant right here, and then I threw in like a single shadow in a sage green to do this eye look. Well, 2 different eye looks. Let me know if you like one eye over the other, and I think, to be honest, this color scheme goes a little bit better than this one. I think the green isn't quite as punchy as it needs to be for the darker purple. Which is the custard shade, but and I think this is too much, it has too much blue in it, because this is a very warm tone purple. But I really like how both of these came out. I will try and take some pictures and get them posted on social media. You will see this look again, because like I said, I'm going to be filming the Ulta versus Sephora thing here in just a little bit outside. Might as well take the dog out. It's almost noon, so I started recording this a little after 11. It was like 11:11 when I came in here, and then I had a coughing fit, so it is what it is. Anyways, I'm Rebecca Oberstadt. Hopefully you guys like this, you know, just trying to get some use out of my products that I already own, that I already enjoy, and then trying to use some of my single shadows. And I know some of my single shadows are old. I know that I probably need to start going through, and what I'll probably do is when I pull shadows in like this with my Shop My Stash, I've already used at least all of these once to do looks since the beginning of the month. So at the end of the month, when I do my recap, I will decide then on whether or not I'm going to pull them from my stash and declutter them, because a lot of these are so old, they kind of need to go. But I will make those decisions at the end of the month, and then that's one way that I can go through my single shadow collection and see, okay, what do I have? What colors do I have? What colors would I like to fill in the gaps with? And that will give me an idea, because I know there's quite a few singles from different brands and stuff that I would like to try. I know there's quite a few greens that Sydney Grace has that I've had my eye on for a while, so it is what it is. I need to replace some of the things that I have that are more than a decade old, and this is a good way to do it. And using a single shadow in conjunction with a palette just to give a different look or a feel is not only a good way to use things that you own, but switch it up just a little bit so it's not the same. You know what I mean? So hopefully this is helpful for somebody, and if it is, please toss a like on this video. Let me know what you think down in the comment section. I will link everything I used on my face in the description box, and I will see you guys in tomorrow's video. Have a fantastic day or night wherever you are.